Okay, tell me, how's the mood in the camp after the semi-final defeat?
Yeah, no, we picked ourselves up. First couple of days we were pretty low and pretty remorseful for the way that we played. And yeah, we do our analysing like we always do, and look at the positives and the negatives. And unfortunately, we had a few too many negatives on the weekend for the way we played, particularly that first half. And we didn't lay enough platforms to build on in that game, and we understand that. And we put too much pressure on ourselves to catch up, and we had an effort to do that, and there's no qualms about the effort that we had within that game, but maybe just the way that we tried to get out of a situation in that first half wasn't the smartest, but we'll learn from it, and we've learned a harsh lesson and a hard lesson that you pick yourself up and you get on with it. You start to focus on your next opponent, and that's the way that you push past.
Considering the big games you've had in recent years, the team looked almost nervous in that first half.
They tried too hard, I think. Tried to come up with big plays rather than just composed plays and build a game. But not all the team. Certain players I think were a little bit more hyped than others and were prepared to take a bit too much risk at times and try to turn things around. All good intentions for the team, but maybe the method in which we went about it wasn't the brightest and smartest, and wasn't what was needed in that sort of game. But that can happen too. We've got different combinations to what we've had in different years, and sometimes that experience needs to come first hand, and with some change in personnel not being there and experienced players that we've had in the past, that may well have been able to just cool that situation down. It takes time for those new, different combinations to learn all those lessons and become those seasoned veterans that you come used to. But we in comparison to last year, we weren't much different in some respects. Last year we bowed out in the same round as what we did this year, although I think we went about it differently. We actually started very, very strongly last year and then let it slip. So we found a different way of doing it this year, but we'll no doubt learn from it and get stronger for it. And hopefully a bit like last year when this did happen to us, it really did focus us in on the remainder of Super League and the final series, and hopefully we can do that again this year and really focus in, and who knows, we may even go one step further.
I mean, one of the surprises with some people was the positional changes you made within the team, with Chris Bridge in particular, who'd been excelling at half-back and stand-off, and then back out to centre. What was the reasoning behind that?
Oh, that happened a few weeks ago. Yeah, no, it wasn't just on the weekend. For those who have been watching, you must have missed a few games, Gary, because he hasn't played half-back for, it had been 3 weeks since he last played there. For his last couple of games at half-back, he was a little bit down in energy, and it's a high energy and position, and it can take its toll on players who aren't used to it as well, and the extra workload and the extra responsibility. And Chris had a couple of flat games towards the back end of his half-back stint, and we felt it best that he moved back out in the centres, and he did that, and he did a good job back out there. And then we were able to, in that game the other day, push him back into the half-back spot, and he was a bit more refreshed and all that. But people stay in their positions when they are delivering and need to and can deliver to a certain level, and Chris was a little bit off that for a couple of weeks, and so he'll hopefully in time to come we'll be able to give him some more time in the half-back position, but it takes a little bit of time to settle back into that, so that's the reasoning.
Now you've got a big game coming up against Castleford, but you're probably playing them just the right time with them going to Wembley the following week.
I don't know about that. I'm not sure. They're 2 points ahead of us in the table. They'll be trying to protect that, and I think everybody knows the importance of finishing in that top 4. They'll be trying hard, and They've got a good squad. They've got a team that whoever they put out are pretty decent players, and they've shown that all year. They've been consistent, and so I'm not sure about this sort of thought of. And the other thing, when people ask that question and have done in the press to me, if I'm going out there playing for Cass this week, I'm going to be playing pretty damn good to get into the team for the following week, rather than I'm not going to play so well and hopefully the coach will still pick me, you know. So I think we're going to come up against a pretty motivated team this week. You know, that's how I look at it from their perspective. From our perspective, and really the important one for us is get out there and perform well. You know, we need to get out there and practice some of what we didn't do last week and build a game and start strong and then go on with it. And if you don't against a team like Cass, well, you can get your backside kicked, and we did that earlier in the season, so we don't want to experience that twice.
Are you planning to make many changes to the team from the semi-final?
There won't be many, if any. We're on our toes this week. I haven't finalised the team just yet, but we've got a pretty fit and healthy squad. We might tweak it depending on performances in training and just how our combinations look. So we'll have a look at it and work out, you know, what best suits for this week. But everybody's on their toes this week.
I mean, you are fortunate that the majority of your squad are fit and healthy coming to the business end of the season.
Absolutely, yeah. Oh, it's enormous. It's enormous. Ben Curry will miss this week again. Should be fairly close to the next game being back. And Ben Evans is returning to training any time now. So they're the only two injuries we've got on the injury list at the moment. So to be in that sort of shape at this time of the year is amazing, really. So hopefully we can keep that going, and you know, that's always a good thing as you're coming into the big games at the back end of the year.
Final question, situation with Chris Riley. He's been at Wakefield. We experienced on the receiving end of him when he scored a hat-trick against us. What's the future for Chris? Is he going to remain a Warrington player, or do you see him leaving?
Yeah, no, that's undecided at the moment. What we do know is that he's playing Super League at the moment, and we can't offer him that on a regular basis. We may be able to give him a week here or there, but once you break that loan period, and at this time of the year, there's no going back. So we haven't had the need at the moment. Gene's missed out, and he's done a good job for us, and he's missed out last week, and so we've got a couple of options in the wing positions at the moment. So it's unlikely that Chris will return unless we get, you know, really into strife in terms of injuries. But yeah, no, that's sort of where he is at the moment. He comes back and visits us and trains with us Challenge Cup weeks. He was with us all last week, so that was great. Or some of last week he was back training with us, and always good to have him about because he's a terrific young man, and you know, we wish him well wherever he plays. And he took that a little bit too literal when he played against us, and yeah, made us pay for it. But I was delighted for him personally. Yeah.
Okay, Tony. Thanks for your time as always.
Thank you.